All right, you guys, I am so sorry about that. I have no clue at all what had happened. That was legit crazy. So I had to reboot everything like really quick. So I am super sorry. Hopefully, I start to get everybody back here. Let me see if Radar Omega is back up and going. All right. All right, so we are back up and going. Once again, I am super sorry for that. Everything just completely crashed on my end. All right, so we're going to turn the cameras back to we're going to turn the cameras back to the west here in Nebraska for the storms out there. All right. Once again, I apologize for that. All right, hey, good to see you. I'm always hiding in the background. You're good. I don't know if you were here for the last stream or not, but all of a sudden my system completely crashed. So had to reboot as fast as I could to get back up again. All right, once again, still massive severe thunderstorm warning out here toward Manning, Carroll, Glyden, and Coon Rapids. Still looking at golf ball size hail, up to 60-mile-an-hour winds with considerable damage for this threat. We're going to take a quick peek back out on. All right, so we do have a severe thunderstorm warning. The one I was just talking about, I figured they were going to warn within the next, 15, 20 minutes, and they did. So, Nebraska, you now have a severe thunderstorm warning for Henderson, Hampton, and York. This will be for quarter size hail and up to 50-mile-an-hour winds. So, once again, hail core back here going to start growing probably pretty rapidly on this. All right, so right now we have two severe thunderstorm warnings. One again back in Nebraska, and another one over here in western Iowa. So dual. And Connie, I think if you were talking about that, the flashing purple, that just it warns me. Um, over about 45 seconds that it's a new warning that is coming up. So, Connie, if you click back on, I think that's what now I know that's what you're talking about. I didn't realize that was flashing purple. So, all right, once again, we're back on air. Excuse me. We're back on air. Severe thunderstorm warning over toward Aurora and York. And actually, this is actually growing. I am so sorry, guys. This hail core is actually growing pretty good too. We're already starting to see blue. If you guys are just coming back to the stream, I apologize. The system had completely crashed. So yeah, we're looking back at this hail core, which we were looking at earlier. Uh, so Hampton, Bradshaw, York, Henderson. You guys are now in this severe thunderstorm warning. Um, heading back up toward the Omaha area. So Omaha, we're gonna have to wait and see. I got about 4 hours to, well, at least three, about 3 hours to stream. All right, vacation of the Omadome. Yeah, you know what? We'll see. We'll see. These have been some pretty consistent storms, and this one is actually growing pretty rapidly. So we are definitely going to have to stay here and uh, watch this one like very closely. All right, once again, if you guys are just tuning in, appreciate you. I know you were here before. I apologize for the stream. It had completely just crashed on me. My streaming system just, yeah, I have no clue. I don't know if too many people were on, which I didn't know there was such a thing, but I doubt it. But yeah, super super disappointed in that, so I apologize. All right. God, you guys can actually see out to the west. Oh, or actually, no, you can't. Let me turn back on the sky cam. All right. Sorry about that, people. All right. You guys can kind of see back out to the west. It is getting pretty dark along that line out there. Oh, no. You guys can't see my cursor. Anyway, clear back on the horizon. Definitely some darkening going on back there. All right, we're going to put this one back into motion really quick. All right, we'll talk about this one and then we'll head back out to um Dome, keep us safe. Yeah. Yeah, they were looking, I don't know RH if you were in the previous stream, but yeah, they're yeah, they got destroyed in like western Iowa. Big golf ball to uh ping pong size hail out there with 60-mile-an-hour winds. So yeah, big time hail core out there. All right, you guys, if you're traveling along I-80 just on the north side of Henderson, and if you're in between Aurora and Henderson on 80, definitely going to experience at least quarter size hail, at least. Did have a little pixel in there of maybe just a little bit bigger, but it did dissipate as it's crossing I-80 in Nebraska in between Aurora and York. We have some pretty good hail core out there. And this is actually getting bigger even on the north side. All right, we're going to head back over to um, this severe thunderstorm warning. So we're still looking at golf ball size hail up to 60-mile-an-hour winds. All right, we still have a pretty considerable hail core here. If you are in Carroll, um, Glyden, you guys really, and Willie, any one of these small towns, you guys really need to take this serious. This is some huge hail in this core. Let me put this into motion. You guys will be exactly able to see where this is going. So, Carol or Glyden, you guys are definitely in the path of this massive hail core. I heard we might see some Apple size stuff today. You know, it was pretty close out here and now I don't know. We could still pick up some strong stuff back out over here. I mean, the air is definitely primed is the key word. All right, so we do have two severe thunderstorm warnings out right now. So we'll take another quick peek over here. They are still just calling for quarter size hail. So definitely, if you are in between Aurora and York along I-80 in Nebraska, definitely seeing some hail in here. This is going to be also a discrete cell. We are going to have to watch this one like extremely close. This may end up being exactly how this cell is over here. and we have about 4 hours to watch it. And unfortunately, I have to work tonight, so you have about 4 hours from me. Let's see how fast this is actually going down here. All right, so it's going northeast at 40. Let's just put a little track on this. Let's see. All right, we'll get it a little bit closer. We'll be nice and say 45. That way it gives people a little bit more of a warning on this one. All right, so here's the latest scan. And we'll just kick it out back this way. We'll extend it even as far as Fremont and Valley at 45. All right, guys. York, roughly about 15 minutes. If it keeps on this due path, David City, roughly about an hour. North Bend, 90 minutes. Wahoo, 88. Utan, 104. Valley, 110. And Fremont, 105. So either way, we'll be here for this one. Um, yeah, and this is at 45 miles an hour, so a little, hour and a half or so. It'll be all the way back up into our neck of the woods. So yeah, we're not going anywhere, people. We're gonna wait and see, and we'll even see what kind of a track this takes. It may even take, a little bit more of an eastern turn. If it does, then we're gonna have to pivot this down into Sarpy and Douglas County over here. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. All right, we're gonna head back over here toward Carroll. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out which radar site is actually closer and what gives me the better view of this. All right, so I'm going to look from the back side on this storm, which kind of gives a better view. So, all right, if you are just to the west, if you're to the west of Carroll, you're getting thunked right now. Um, North of Templeton, just to the west of Carroll, extremely large hail. You guys have to take this serious. We've given a ton of warning on this cell from clear back in Nebraska. So Coon Rapids, Glide and Carroll up toward Lake City. You need to take this one extremely serious. Not for any tornado purposes, but we are looking at ping pong to golf ball size hail out of this hail core. Anywhere you see purple is hail, and I'm going to show you. Uh, that is what we're looking at. Once again, if you were in Carroll, Glyden, even is it Willie, Lake City, they just condensed it. So now we're getting a better view on everybody who's going to be impacted by this hail. And this is not small hail. This is absolutely ginormous. Not apple size, as RH was saying earlier, but this is big. All right. They just upped it to lime size hail now. So we're looking at lime size hail up to 60-mile-an-hour winds. So absolutely crazy. If you are in Carroll, I would definitely be even in your safe place. Lowest level of your home or building, just get away from windows. If you guys are in your car, I don't know what to tell you. But do not pull underneath an overpass. If you can get pulled over to a safe place, get into an interior building. We're talking lime size hail going to be destructive. This is going to be destructive to homes, windows, sidings, roofs, patio furniture, anything with this cell right here just outside of Carroll, you're going to get thunked. So this right now is along, say, where are we? 240th and Falcon Ave. No, this would be 240th and man, I can't read some of these streets' names. I apologize. Just say 205th and Rosal Street. Halber, just right outside of Carroll. I mean, we're talking, folks. I'm going to show you again. This is 2-inch size hail. This is lime size hail with 60-mile-an-hour winds. This damage threat is very considerable. It's a 41-minute warning on this. All right, we're going to jump back down to, let's look at this storm report here. What is this? So 2-inch size hail, 2 miles to the east of Buck Grove. We called it on this one. So this was in Crawford County. I knew there was some huge hail pushing through there when it was coming through. All right, you guys. We're gonna come back down over here into Nebraska. Let's go to the Blue Hill radar really quick. I think that's Blue Hill, isn't it? Yeah. All right. Go back down to the Blue Hill. All right. Definitely still crossing 80. All right. They're only pinging quarter size hail, which that seems about right on this. So definitely moving through Henderson, Hampton, and approaching York. Um, Definitely have some friends with family that live in York, just kind of trying to see the path of this. Hopefully he's watching. So if you have family in York, definitely give them a heads up on uh this storm coming through. Stromsburg and Osceola, you know, you guys are going to start to see storm development just off to your west, so just be aware of that. Yeah, this is actually moving pretty due where we had that track. So this is definitely moving uh east northeast. Trying to see which radar. Okay, so it is going to shoot me back to Blue Hill on that. All right, you guys, we're going to head back over to this destructive lime size 60 mile per hour storm. All right. Once again, if you are in Carroll, you guys need to be really in your safe place, just away from windows. This is like no joke. Power nap time. Have a good night of work, Steve. Thank you for your service. Hey, absolutely. Have a good power nap. Of course, yeah. Us military people know how to power nap. We could take a 10-minute nap and it feels like 8 hours. So, yeah. Uh, have a good nap. We'll see, RH. Appreciate you too. All right. Once again, Carol, you guys need to be in your safe place. Seriously. This hail is massive. This is back up to 2-inch size hail. We're talking lime size hail up to 60-mile-an-hour winds for this. All right, if you guys are just joining us, appreciate you. If you were here on the last stream, I apologize. My system like completely crashed. I have no clue what happened, honestly. But we got back up quick as we could, and we are back in progress. If you guys were here on the last one, I was saying, within the next 15, 20 minutes, we're going to get a warning. Sure enough, we got a warning out here. Um, Even before I came back on. we had that warning. I was like, oh crap. And I should. Oh, come on. That is not what I want. All right, give me 2 seconds, people. Man, it's like nothing is going my way today. If I hit one button, then everything just goes to crap. This is like unbelievable today. Like nothing is going my way. All right, looking for, come on. All right. All right, we are back up. It's one of those, if you click one button, then a ton of buttons get affected. All right. All right, once again, severe thunderstorm warning back over toward York. All right, so York County, so just to the on the north side of Henderson, just to the west of York, we have a severe thunderstorm warning with quarter-size hail and up to 50-mile-an-hour winds. All right, we're gonna head back over into Iowa, over toward Carroll. Uh, Extremely devastating lime-size hail up to 60-mile-an-hour winds are just pushed through Carroll, Iowa. So if you lived in Carroll or know anybody in Carroll, they have some cleanup to do right now or here in the near future. So St. Anthony Regional Hospital just got pulverized with this hail. Anywhere in Carroll. Let's back it up just a couple of frames. So definitely, if you were in Carroll, Iowa, definitely just received a big thumping with lime-size hail. Now, once again, if you guys are also in this area, so I'm going to show you kind of the hail size of this. That is all hail. But if you're up here in Carroll to the blue, this is where you don't want to be. This is extremely lime size, 2-inch plus size hail. All right, severe thunderstorm watch is now issued for parts of Nebraska. We are going to check really quick to see where this watch is actually for. All right, everybody. You're seeing it here first. New severe thunderstorm watch, including Lincoln, Seward, David City, Schuyler, Fremont, Blair, Omaha, Papillion, La Vista, Gretna, Springfield, Bennington Valley, anywhere in this area. Um, Also extending into western Iowa, all the way Des Moines, Boone, Fort Dodge, Rockwell City, Hampton, Waverly in Iowa, Waterloo, Iowa, Marshalltown, and Newton. If you guys are seeing this, this is all a brand new severe thunderstorm watch that was just posted, and this is for man, hail up to 3 inches in diameter with winds 70 mile an hour plus. So this is actually for the next 6 hours and 31 minutes. So this could get pretty interesting over the next couple hours. I'll tell you that. So I will leave this up here for a little bit longer, but new severe thunderstorm watch is now issued for about the next 6 hours. There's my radio. All right, new severe thunderstorm watch. Now everybody's weather radio and everybody's phones going off right now. They're going to see what's going on. So um yeah, we're here to let you know. All right, so just a couple of storms that we're actually watching just right now. So one is just outside of York here in Nebraska. So definitely a little bit of hail just on the west side of York. This is all pushing northeast now. Stromsburg and Osceola probably going to see some heavy to moderate rains here, but the severe thunderstorm warning is basically right now just for basically York. So we'll have to see what this does uh, here pretty soon. So once again, if you guys are just join in. I appreciate you guys. If you were here for the last stream, I apologize. Stream totally cut off. It totally crashed on me. I don't know what happened. But if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. We are in a severe thunderstorm watch for the next about 6 hours. We're going to be here at least for the next 4, 3.5, maybe 3.5 to 4, because we do have to work tonight. And I can only be on for so long. But we're definitely going to watch this cell here. I mean, it's moving at 45, 50 miles an hour. Um, I knew it. Okay, now I'm taking my nap. Oh, RH, you're a good man. Go take your power nap. Take one for me too. Sure. I'm going to need it. All right. So once again, new severe thunderstorm warning. Eastern Nebraska, western Iowa, into central Iowa for everybody who is just tuning in. But before you tune in and look at that, hit that like and subscribe button for me. It would mean a ton. We are trying to grow our channel pretty rapidly, and I think we're doing a good job. Uh, and so, yeah, definitely hit that like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Every time we go live, we want you guys to go live with us. So I see a lot more coming on. Be sure you hit that like and subscribe. We are underneath a severe thunderstorm watch for the next 6 hours. They are talking about 3 inch size hail. You guys seeing that? 3 inch size hail and up to 70 mile an hour winds with these thunderstorms. So we're really going to have to watch the cell just outside of York. This could the little blip is going to turn into something. Well, it is. So the hail core is already getting a little bit bigger on this. We're really going to have to see. So if you're watching, you know anybody in David City, Schuyler, um, North Bend, Wahoo, Fremont, Scribner, you know what? We just had a severe thunderstorm roll through here just a couple hours ago, really. There's one right on its heels. So we're really going to have to pay attention to this one. This one could be a doozy for our area. So once again, we have live sky cam pointing in that direction toward York, back down to the west, little northwest. You know, all of you who are new to the channel and just joining us, we are broadcasting from this general area right in here. So the live sky cam that you see going out there is pointing out to the west. So for anybody who's tuning in, appreciate you. But we're definitely going to have to watch this cell now in Nebraska. Now we have been watching this one for, geez, we've been watching this cell that just crossed over Carroll since back here in David City and Schuyler. I mean, this is still considered 2-inch lime size hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. Considerable damage out of this storm. Um, the good thing is the hail has diminished slightly. So I don't think this is, so I don't think this is as big as they're saying right now. Now, big is big regardless, but I don't think we're pushing lime size. I don't even think we're seeing, we could be seeing the golf ball size hail, at least out of this. I do think they'll start dropping the intensity of hail size here probably just in a little bit, because I don't believe we're at the lime size hail anymore. Now, if I really go back in and kind of scroll back, you will guys right there. That is where on the north side of Carroll, this is where we were seeing the lime size hail. This was pretty crazy. So thank goodness this one is getting a little bit decreased in size with the hail, but we're going from this one. And honestly, all right, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning that just came out. We're going to click to the blue hill radar. All right, I need some volume because I cannot hear my warnings. All right, we got our warnings back on. All right, once again, new severe thunderstorm warning just to the east. So for Waco. So this will still be for quarter size hail only and 50-mile-an-hour winds. So this is proceeding. There we go. We just, they just condensed this warning over here. So York, you guys are still in it, but it's a little bit more to your north. So as this pushes east, northeast, latest radar scan, I think it's going to push more up here. But there is a little bit of even convection down here on the north side of York. We'll push into Waco. So here in just a little bit, this will be inside the warned area here. So once again, this is something that, here in eastern Nebraska, once again, we'll have to keep our eye on. So they did put out a severe thunderstorm watch for hail up to 3 inches in size, 3 inches in diameter, and up to 70-mile-an-hour winds. which I have to see. Let me see. Trying to see a quick hail chart. Let me see. So 3 inches diameter. All right. So we are actually talking a little over baseball size hail. So baseball is 2.75, but softball is 4. So like uh JH was saying, so we're looking at probably apple size hail for this severe thunderstorm watch. So we're talking bigger than baseball. Baseball is 2.75, softball is 4. So we need something in the center at 3, which is an apple. So yeah, RH was right on top of it when he's like, they're calling for apple size hail. I was like, what? Sure enough, there it is. All right, we'll go back down to York in a second. Right now, we still have this massive severe thunderstorm warning actually going on, heading toward Scranton. So, all right, so just had another report come out. Looks like 1.5 inch size hail just went through Gladen. Glidden. This will be for Carroll County. And this is actually reported by the fire department. So pretty factual stuff. So at least 1.5 inches came through town. All right. So even if you're in Ralston, Iowa, so Ralston, Iowa, and Scranton in Iowa, you guys are still, I assume they lowered this back down. Now they got it for tennis ball size hail. So that is larger. I just don't see it. So they have 2.5 size hail, which is tennis ball size hail with considerable damage with 60-mile-an-hour winds. I just don't know where they're seeing this. So if there is, it would actually be on the north side of Ralston. We're talking in Iowa. That's some big hail. And so on this latest radar, it is intensifying just a little bit over here. Mhm. Yeah, that's some big hail. Hopefully we'll get some more storm reports coming out of this just to verify if it is tennis ball size. All right. Omaha people, were coming back down. Don't worry. Not leaving us out down here. All right, so this warning is for the next 2 minutes, but it'll be allowed to expire. This whole entire cell is pushing into the Waco area. So York, you guys are clear. McCool Junction and Henderson, you guys are all clear. All right. So if Utica, Ulysses, you guys are now in the path of this storm. Probably still calling for quarter size hail. All right. I think that was the latest radar scan, maybe. All right. So the hail has, we're a couple frames behind on this hail. So that hail core is now over here, pretty much a little bit back to the west, but for the most part, that hail is right there. So yeah, York, you guys are good to go now. I think it just pushed on to the north side of you. All right, for people who are just joining us, thank you again for tuning in. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch for our area. When I say our area, I do live in Omaha, Omaha area, more over here in West Douglas and Sarpy County. Over here, we do have it for the next about 6 hours. We are looking for up to 3 inch. So we're looking at for apple size hail and up to 70-mile-an-hour winds, which kind of was what we had just kind of pushed through into Iowa. Sad thing is that here's a discrete cell. All right, so we did just lose our severe thunderstorm warning for York. So now it's pushed on more to the east. So we're really going to have to watch this cell. This cell has taken the shape of this one up toward Carroll in Iowa, which was massive, like destructive, which is still a destructive storm up here. But we need to concentrate on this one also down here in Nebraska. Which the hail is getting a little bit bigger in here. We're going to have to down toward there. So we'll have to watch the purple here if it intensifies and grows more down toward Waco. Um, and start to see that hail core line start to form. So it's something we're really going to have to watch closely. All right, so I think we switched radars. I think we're far enough toward Omaha radar to where it switched to Omaha Valley. Let me just double check. Let me click on here and I'll click off of it. And yes, all right. So this is our closest radar site to here. All right. So for everybody out there, just a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. One in eastern Nebraska, one in western Iowa, and I do have another warning up here. Let me see what this is. Oh, the severe thunderstorm watch. All right, it's putting it up in my into my account. All right, so once again, I'll drop this kind of back down to where everybody can see one more time before I take it off. This is the new severe thunderstorm warning that was just posted by the National Weather Service. Ours is for the next about 6 hours, up to apple size hail, 3 inch size hail. So apple size hail and 70-mile-an-hour winds. We'll see over here in Iowa. Uh, Same thing, up to apple size hail, 70-mile-an-hour winds. So this is the area we need to really watch because cells are going to start to fire. Here was a discrete cell, and now we have a discrete cell just on the east side of York that has plenty of airflow, plenty of moisture, plenty destabilization uh, coming up. So we really need to watch this one like pretty close. All right. I'm going to take off this watch really quick. All right, once again, if you guys are new, hit that like and subscribe button, hit the bell icon for me. I would appreciate it. Right now, just tracking basically two storms. One in eastern Nebraska with which is actually getting bigger. Yeah, this one could turn into the same one that just went through, you know, western Iowa. I mean, we're looking at big time hail pushing through here. What is this one? All right, this one is still tagged for tennis ball size hail. So 60-mile-an-hour winds with considerable damage. So tennis ball size hail up here, which man, it looked like it was really decreasing unless it's like right up here. But all right, we're gonna head back down here into Nebraska. So this just to the east York storm is actually intensifying pretty good. I mean, we're really going to have to watch this one because this might be making more of a dew. This moisture was kind of used up by that storm up there. North Bend, Fremont, Scribner, Tacoma, Blair. This one may take a little bit more of a southerly track, which will put it Douglas, Sarpy, uh, maybe Washington out here in Saunders County, Lancaster County. We're really going to have to wait and see what this one does. All right, here comes the latest radar scan. I don't know where it started, so let's see what this does. Go through. Keep going. Thank you. All right. Still have where that hail core would be was is due in the center, so it's just north of Waco and Utica. So once again, if you are in Ulysses, Brainerd, and David City, definitely be aware of this. Even out here toward Branched Oaks, Valparaiso. We don't know exactly. Let's just see how fast and where this is moving. So this is going northeast at 40. I think it's going east northeast at 40. Let's do a little bit of a track on here. Let's see. All right. So I think what this one is doing is something. I think I have this at 45. So the benefit of the doubt is I'm pushing it up in speed to 45 miles an hour to give you guys plenty of time and notice for this. So we're kind of all right. There's a new one. So it's taking that path right here. So we're going to expand this out a little bit, which is going to come into Douglas and Sarpy County. All right. So Ulysses, 15 minutes. I don't even know what that was. Valparaiso, about 40. Weston, 48. Wahoo, little under an hour. Ceresco, 51. Utan, about an hour, and Ashland, about an hour. Now, if we get in here to about Gretna, about hour and 20 minutes, up toward Waterloo, 81 minutes. So this is, we'll have to watch this cell pretty closely. All right, we'll get this back off. Once again, a new severe thunderstorm warning for Ulysses and B towns and Staplehurst. All right, forgot you were down here. Staplehurst, B, and Ulysses. New severe thunderstorm warning for up to quarter size hail and 50-mile-an-hour winds. So this would be kind of in the path. If even if you're in Branched Oaks, Ceresco, Valparaiso, Weston, Wahoo, you guys, even in this area, we need to definitely be on the lookout quick. Uh, Facebook post really quick to everybody. So give me 2 seconds. Oh, no, I didn't want that. All right, guys. You guys can see the storm up there. I'm trying to make a quick Facebook post to everybody on Facebook and everybody out there. Connie, lost you. Might need a nap for later, right? Yeah, we have another cell developing just off to the west. So this is going to start, affecting my neck of the woods over here pretty soon. So doing a quick Facebook post. It's already says no. Connie, I can't wait for you to be one of my mods when I get a little bit bigger. That way you can start doing this. All right, we're going to be delayed here really quick because every time I go into Facebook and post, it's going to delay my screen, but I will get back live again as soon as I am done. Da, 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 da. This should not take long. All right, sorry about that. Had to do that really quick. Trying to get this posted out to everybody. If you guys haven't already, you guys can subscribe to Stormy Steve on Facebook. And I usually post quite a bit on there, but this is like a quick post. All right. So that is at least out. All right. Uh all right, guys. I am back live with you. All right. Had to do a quick post on Facebook. If you guys haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. And if you aren't subscribed to my Facebook, it is Stormy Steve 1 on Facebook. Um, go ahead and become a friend, become a member, whatever. Everything's free. I'm still new enough to where everything is free. So yeah, take advantage of that while it lasts. All right, one more time. Make sure everything is good. All right, latest scan is coming in. Um, all right, that hail core is getting a little bit more pronounced. So Staplehurst and all right, so that severe thunderstorm warning was allowed to expire. So Ulysses and Staplehurst and B, you guys are next in the path of this severe thunderstorm warning. Once again, it may just go on the north side of Branched Oaks, but shortly unless restarting the software. Oh, come on. All right. Man, I do not know what is going on with the stream today. I really don't. This is like crazy. It keeps I'm gonna have to call my cable provider and honestly raise some, you know what. All right. So for right now, where I'm gonna take off Wise really quick from up here. All right. So right now we're not gonna have live camera feed right now until it starts getting closer, and then I'll put it up and then we can watch it move in. All right, here comes another sweep. Let's just see how big. Oh, never mind. Just kidding. All right, so it must have just went around. So let's look at this hail core a little bit more water vapor wise. All right, still not huge. We'll have to see. So this is behind just a couple of scans. So what we're going to do is we'll see when that scan gets over to here, if it's going to show a little bit bigger. All right. Once again, it is little after 1 o'clock Central Time. We are broadcasting from Eastern Nebraska on an Eastern Nebraska storm. Western Iowa, you guys still. We'll pop up here really quick. A lot of lightning out of here still. We'll go out of the Des Moines radar really quick. Um, Hail is not as big as it was. They should have. They're still calling lime size hail. I assume if it is, it's coming out of this one and not getting hit by the radar as well. Still have a hail spike that actually comes down this way. So we have the main hail is right there with a hail spike coming down toward Jefferson. So this is all moving to the northeast. So Dayton, you'd be next in line for this. Ogden, you're still in the warning, and Boone. these are towns are all in Iowa. All right. So this one is actually getting a little bit smaller, while this one down here is actually a little bit growing in size. Come on. There we go. All right, there we go. This hail is getting a little bit bigger. We do have a blue pixel in here now, which is indicating a little bit bigger hail getting in here. Let's look at liquid integration. All right, we're still behind the frame. I don't know why always with hail we're always behind. As you guys can see, I was not prepared to go live today. Just to let everybody know. This was kind of unexpected. I was out doing yard work because I'm off this morning. Um, and I heard my weather alert radio going off and ran inside and started seeing really the one severe thunderstorm warning. That's when it was up toward like Fremont and Blair and Scribner, up toward that way. I was like, holy cow. So hurry up, finished up what I was doing, came back inside and had to put everything together for a quick live stream. But as you see, I was not prepared for this. All right, latest scan just came in. So Ulysses, it's just off to your west and Staplehurst. So this cell is probably going to move right in between, probably more or less the Ulysses town of Ulysses than Stapleton. Even then, Stapleton you could still get some Peter marble size hail down there, but the bigger hail threat is what everybody sees up here in purple. And definitely this tail is coming a little bit more south, so we're going to get more development a little bit further to the south. Seward, you're going to start to see rain. uh Garland over toward Branched Oaks, Malcolm possibly, even depends how far this tail starts to push southward, so we'll have to wait and see. We could even get, some of these pop-up thunderstorms that are just going to pop up around the area. So we're definitely going to have to hang around here for a little bit. All right, just kind of condense that warning down. Another 22 minutes over here for Staplehurst and B. Ulysses, I would still, be prepared for this. You guys can still see hail even on the south side of Ulysses. Staplehurst and B. I think it's going to go right basically in between. So just kind of look further down the road. If you're in DeWitt, Loma, Valparaiso, you guys need to be aware of this moving in. Here's the latest scan right here. So definitely in between Ulysses and Staplehurst is biggest hail threat. Let's see what some winds are out here. Well, there's definitely a 60-mile-an-hour wind. Let me see where that is. It's kind of ahead of the front. So definitely when this, blows through, you're going to feel it and you're going to know it's there. All right, let's see what's going on up here. Do they put out a new? I didn't hear it. I don't know if this is new or not. All right, so they still have lime-size hail up to 60-mile-an-hour winds, considerable damage threat. I think they just had condensed it down out of Carroll. So Jefferson, Ogden, and Boone in Iowa, still underneath the severe thunderstorm warning. Guys probably still have pretty good size hail, even in that big red dot. That's not as big as it was. So I'm definitely not seeing what they are seeing. I'm not seeing lime size hail. So I honestly, I don't think that that's correct. Now, I do think that there's at least quarter size hail in there, but I don't believe that there's lime size hail in that cell anymore. All right, we're going to come back down here really quick. All right. See, in our cell down here is actually growing pretty rapidly. So you guys see all these little white plus marks. These are lightning rod. These are cloud to ground lightning. So it's beginning to intensify. It's beginning to get bigger. So you start to see these blue pixels in here. This is, intensifying in the center of the storm in there, cloud to ground lightning, hail starting to get bigger. We're starting to see some blue pixels in here, which mean hail is getting bigger. Um, we'll definitely have to keep an eye out on this one. Yeah, so I could stay on for about another 2.5 hours, and then I got to start getting cleaned up for work. All right. Da-da-da. Oh, I hope I just didn't click the wrong one. All right, there we go. All right, once again, severe thunderstorm warning for quarter size hail uh, for just on the south side of Ulysses for B and Staplehurst. Um, we're definitely watching this one a little bit more closely, a little bit more deeper reds in the purples, and even a blue pixel in there. So we're definitely going to have to um, watch this and see what's going to go on with this one. All right, so this is moving now. This is moving to the east. So this is kind of what I was just talking about. It's going to get the more favorable um, air, um, just the more favorable atmosphere, juice to keep these going. So I think it's going to make more of the V line down to the east. So we're going to put another track on that. It's still at 45. I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt that people are going to know about this way ahead of time. So we're going to put a basically more of this kind of a path on it. All right, Wahoo 40 minutes, Ashland 54 minutes, Utan 56, Gretna probably about an hour. I'll even kind of put these up for you. There you go. All right. Once again, Wahoo 40, Ashland 54, Utan 56, Papillion roughly a little over an hour, uh, Omaha also 86, Bellevue and Plattsmouth also about hour and what, hour 20, 25 minutes. So yeah, we're definitely going to have to keep this or keep this stream going because yeah, it's going to get a little tricky around here in a little bit. So this hail core, this was the latest scan. This is actually grown in size. I would not be surprised if they're gonna up this quarter to probably at least $half size here in just probably a little bit. All right. So once again, if you guys are just joining us, thanks for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe button and that bell icon. It would mean the world to me for you to be a subscriber on the channel. Uh, so we're looking at we're in eastern Nebraska here. So we're just a matter of even to Lincoln. We're not that far away from Lincoln with this cell. We're 24 miles. All right. I think I just kind of pinned it. That's exactly the track that I had just put on this. Let me go grab my radio. Hang on just a second. All right. All right, you guys. This is the track I just put it on. So this is kind of crazy that the National Weather Service is doing the same thing. All right. New severe thunderstorm warning out. Very prominent warning box. So Valparaiso, Weston, Wahoo, Ceresco. Right now, that is the only ones that are in the path. You have DeWitt, Loma, uh, Agnew, did I say Ceresco, Weston, Wahoo, Ithaca? You guys are also in here in Meade. So once again, a new severe thunderstorm warning for eastern Nebraska. This is just going to kick it on the north side of Branched Oaks and Lincoln. For everybody kind of knowing where we are, Lincoln is down here, and this is just to the north of that. So once again, even in the path, this has taken more of an east northeast turn. It's going to be western Sarpy County, western Douglas County. If it takes this path, we will have a great view on the sky cam when it comes in. I will tell you that because is going to come right over the weather studio here. So everybody's weather radio is probably going off here in eastern Nebraska. I am probably the only one who is live because, hey, we all need to be safe, and that's why we're here. All right, so they're still clocking for 1 inch size hail. They may upgrade this just a little bit. We're getting a little bit more lighter purples and darker purples, and we even have a blue pixel in there, which indicates a little bit stronger hail in there. So for right now, I can see the quarter size, but I think as this intensifies and gets stronger, you know, this is going to be a good sell that comes our way. All right, here comes the latest scan coming in. I don't know if it'll reach it. Will it reach it? It will reach it. All right, this is getting pretty significant now. Now we have multiple blue pixels, which indicates we're starting to see some big time hail. This hail core is getting bigger. We're starting to see more of an updraft here, holding hailstones higher, which means they get bigger. They fall. The updraft grabs it, takes it back up into the clouds, and it gets bigger. So when it gets bigger, the radar shoots it, and it sees that, and it intensifies the color pixels on the screen. So if I went over to Correlation, it has not updated yet. But we will start to see this is our hail core right here, which is now over here. Um, yeah, radar sights definitely hitting more solid objects in the air. So that's where we are looking right here. So yeah, you guys definitely, if you guys are in eastern Nebraska, definitely some large hail coming. Trying to see if, a lot of these little blips are going to turn into something. Well, I think this was the blip that here in our neck of the woods, we're going to start seeing. So for everybody out there, this is Omaha. So Omaha, Bellevue, it's where Offutt Air Force Base is, Papine La Vista, Ralston, Gretna, Springfield, up toward Elkhorn. So everybody has to be aware of this storm. It can intensify pretty rapidly, which it has. All right, here comes the latest scan. Once again, all right, big time hail coming up. Let me see if they've tagged it for bigger. They haven't yet, but trust me, they will. Sure glad I got done with my yard stuff before this stuff really started firing. All right, almost 1:25 p.m. Central Time. So once again, we are watching eastern Nebraska. Western Iowa, I think, did yours were allowed to expire? Nope, not yet. let's take a quick peek up here in Iowa really quick. All right, so they have dropped it down to ping pong size hail. I'm still not even really seeing ping pong size hail. Let me see if there's what's in there. All right, so we haven't had the latest scan on this. Yeah, I'm still not seeing ping pong size hail in here. We have more of a hail threat right now down where we live than they do up there. Trying to see where this warning is really quick. Oh, where is this? We in Ohio? Where are we? We're in Indiana. All right, Columbia City, Indiana. Let's try to get a radar over there. All right, there we go. All right, so what is this for? Quarter size hail up to 60-mile-an-hour winds. All right. So this is only for a couple more minutes? Yeah. So we kind of missed this one. All right. We're heading back over here in our neck of the woods. All right. So did have a storm report. The hail is getting stronger in this area. So definitely, if you're one of my buddies, at a car dealership and whatever, this is where we need to start bringing in the expensive cars. Um, yeah, definitely. So we did have just outside of Ulysses, even before this gained the strength that it did. So 3 miles east southeast of Ulysses, 1 inch size hail. This is in Butler County. But this has gained strength more rapidly with hail. Um, all right, there we go. I knew they were going to update it. Now we have ping pong size hail. That's an inch and a half size hail. So inch and a half size hail. We still have just right at 50-mile-an-hour or under winds, but the biggest threat now is going to be hail. So if you guys are one of my buddies at a car dealership, uh, you know, in the Omaha area, now is probably the time to start grabbing the keys out of the lockbox and getting the nice cars inside. All right, I'll put this into motion really quick. You guys can kind of see. So we're starting getting a little south push out right here. So this is going to be our biggest granddaddy right here. So Valparaiso, Weston, and Wahoo. I would definitely be on the lookout for this one. It hit, even had a little. So this is our discrete cell. They always talk about discrete cells. This cell here is taking all the energy from the south and feeding it into here. This stuff doesn't have that energy just yet. And it's basically just rain, scattered rain, maybe thunderstorm, whatever. what we're looking at is down south. We're looking at this. This is our discrete cell um, down here. This is what people need to be worried and concerned about heading into Douglas County, Sarpy County, Saunders County. Um, this is moving this way. So it's just going to take a little bit of time, actually not very much time. They expanded this warning out pretty decent. So we're looking at about 40, it's going roughly about 40, 45 miles an hour. So once again, if we were to put a quick track on here of roughly a path that it could go. Weston 19 minutes, Wahoo 28, Utan 43, Waterloo 52, Bennington about an hour, Papine La Vista about an hour. So we're looking at roughly 50 minutes here. In the Gretna, Springfield, Elkhorn area. So little under an hour that you guys have to prepare for this. And this is your notice down here where in Omaha, where the car dealerships are, you have about an hour to get the nice vehicles in. So we'll do a quick little rundown right there. Valparaiso, about 10 minutes. Weston, 19. Ceresco, 24. Wahoo, 28. Utan, roughly about 45. Valley, 45. Waterloo, 50. Bennington, Papillion, roughly about an hour, maybe a little over. If this is the case, I'm actually going to step away I'm going to look at the path of this. And if this hail like continues, I'm going to I will try to put my truck in the garage. It just like barely fits. I'll tell you that. All right. Once again, new latest radar scan. All right. It's holding its own. We still have a few blue pixels in there. Um, Definitely seeing the ping pong size hail. Let's look at all right. So that's what I'm talking about. As the hail core gets bigger, this is going to start getting deeper in grays and whites. Um, it just shows the intensity more of the hail. So definitely bigger hail out there. Once again, I'll show you this report out of 3 miles east southeast of Ulysses. That's in Butler County. They did have 1 inch size hail. Now, the 1 inch size hail was back here, and that was prior to. Let me go back a couple of frames. So that's when we just had the couple, pixels right there. So I'm trying to right there is where that was. But then when it got bigger, then it intensified. All right, here comes the next radar scan. We'll see what it says. All right, so it's back to condensing that hail. So anywhere you see this purple, we are getting hail in here, and this is pretty good hail. This is at least quarter size hail. Um, and then when you start getting into the blue, a little bit bigger. possibly, what are they calling it? Ping pong. So, definitely a good scenario. So, Loma, you guys are seeing hail. Valparaiso, I mean, it is literally just to your west. It may come right into you and smack you in the face, or it's just going to go just off to the north. So, on this one, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to see what direction that this actually really turns. It may take more of an eastern path from here east. Yeah, we'll have to see. But now is your time, though. Valparaiso, Weston, Wahoo, Meade, Ithaca. If you guys know anybody in this area, if you're watching from this area, now is the time to get your vehicles in. Any patio furniture that's glass, get it covered. Um, this can grow very rapidly. We just saw it in the Iowa storm. So, you know, even though it may miss you, at least you're prepared. Okay. Be prepared now. You still have a little bit of time to get stuff prepared outside. Um, let's take a quick peek at those are not initial wind. Let's see what the initial winds are right along. All right, so 60 mile an hour wind, 67. Okay, that is not 110. Okay, these are not 110. All right, so we're looking in between, like just say 50 to 70 mile an hour. See, the further south you get on this, the calmer the wind. So the initial gust front that's coming in, you know, could be like right at about 60 miles an hour. So, all right, there's the latest scan right there. Couple blue pixels in there, which is still indicating pretty strong hail core that just went through Loma. So we'll have to see if someone post a. All right, so someone did post down in DeWitt, down in Butler County, inch and a quarter in Butler County. So public report, little over inch and a quarter. Out of the storm. Now they're still pinging this for ping pong size hail. So this is moving east northeast. So once again, if you guys are in the area, even advance of this area, Western Sarpy County, Western Douglas County, Saunders County, uh, if this turns a little bit more east, it'll take a Sarpy County, Douglas County straight line for these hail. So these blue little pixels that are all right, where am I? That are right here, are bigger hail that are in there. There's quite a bit of inflow going in here. We're not in any tornado atmosphere, right now. Okay. We're not even looking at tornadoes. But what you are seeing is inflow, nice cold air coming in and hitting this cell right here. Okay. What that's doing, it's getting the warm, moist air coming in with the inflow and hitting this cold air and um, being able to make, huge hail. Right. So even though we're not seeing blue, even with this deep purple, we are still seeing some big hail. So just even though you don't see the blue, which is actually a good thing because the hail limits are will come down a little bit, but even this purple, you're still seeing some pretty good size hail. Hopefully we can get another report out of uh Loma. Hopefully somebody will report out of there. So once again, next in line, Weston Wahoo. You guys know it's coming. It's coming. If you guys know anybody in that area, let them know. You know, one discrete cell heading your way. And like I said, where I'm broadcasting is from somewhere in this area on the western side of Omaha. I am plumb in the path of this cell. If it makes just a due east, we will see it here live. I'm telling you. I may have to step away for a second to pull my truck in the garage, but we will bring back up the camera and watch this come in. On that note, let me find that camera really quick again. Let's get it ready. All right, we're going to try to bring up that camera and we will definitely start to see that coming in. All right, here's the latest radar scan. All right, still holding strong. I think this is mainly due east. So we're going to be looking at probably a line going, actually kind of like it's going. Then, somewhere in here with this. So if you are definitely in these black lines, this is definitely making a V line toward that direction. All right, bringing back up the cameras really quick. I hope they will work. All right, once again, thanks everybody for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. We try to go live as much as we can for you know severe storms. Sometimes it doesn't always work that way. I do have a full-time job, but thankfully enough, I'm going to try to get us through this storm here before I have to leave. So, yeah, once again, I appreciate everybody joining and, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe for me. Um, yeah, we'll get through this together. All right, trying to bring up our camera feed. Give me 2 seconds. Right. Now we can probably bring up that camera feed. All right. So once again, latest radar scans coming in. Yeah, seeing a little bit more blue coming along that. Getting a little bit more southerly, little tail coming down here. We're gonna have to watch this whole line right here as it pushes east. All right, they will probably condense down this severe thunderstorm warning here pretty soon. This is kind of a big polygon. Um, so what they will probably do is they'll just kind of cut it, right here on probably here within the next couple of minutes they will be doing that. Trying to get my camera back up and working for you guys. For some reason, it is offline. Trying to get it back on. All right, latest scan shows. All right, so we're just on the outside of Weston, so we still have some bigger hail on the southern side of this. Um, let's see if they've upped it. So golf ball, were we at ping pong size earlier? So now we are at, yeah, because it was an inch and a half. So now we're at inch and three quarters. So now we're looking at golf ball size hail. I think it was just a couple of scans ago, and they did condense that severe thunderstorm, like I was saying. Um, so once again, right now, golf ball size hail, considerable threat for the damage is considerable. Um, Still not as powerful winds, but we are definitely, we'll kick it back a couple so everybody can kind of see what direction that this is taken. So we'll have to wait and see. All right, we'll kind of scan back out again. So yeah, look at that. Just one discrete supercell over our area almost. And that's basically it for right now. But more supercell development uh, will happen over in Iowa later on, around the 4, 5 o'clock hour, I would assume 4 or 5. All right, let's zoom in really quick. All right, so not many blue pixels in that one, but still kind of making a easternly turn. So, well, we'll have to keep watching this because this can grow like fairly rapidly pretty quick. This has plenty of updraft capabilities to it. So even though you just see purple in here, don't think that this is like small hail. This is still good size hail. All right, so the latest scan hasn't come in yet, but this hail core is actually over in here right now. So if I switch back, okay, well, pretty close. All right, in between Columbus and Schuyler, a little bit moderate to heavy rain in there. There's a little bit heavier of a shower in there. Trying to bring up this camera for you guys. I don't understand. All right, we'll have to wait and see if that kicks on. All right, so we definitely have a little bit of lightning in there. All right, so once again, we have some blue pixels in there. Blue pixel means bigger hail. So we'll have to see how this continues. All right, starting to see more in here. So you can see Gretna in here, Waterloo, Elkhorn, Bennington, Valley. Um, so it's getting closer, guys. It's getting closer. Yeah, I think it's definitely making more of this path. So I think Sarpy County, you're going to be spared this. So Sarpy County line is right here. And I think this will definitely head toward the Douglas County line. So you have Saunders County in here, Douglas County up here. So we'll just watch and see. All right. Once again, looks like we have five. Why is trying to figure out why. Um, all right. All right. Once again, Hail Core is still holding strong. Still holding strong. So just right outside of Wahoo. So if you're in Wahoo, definitely you need to be bringing in your stuff at this time. Any vehicles, bring them into the garage. Any patio furniture you don't want destroyed. This is capable. We're looking at golf ball size hail. If it hits the house just right, it's going to puncture the siding, damage roofs, any leaves that are on the tree. You know, whatever golf balls can destroy, it's going to do it. So whatever you have out, I would bring it in. Right, we'll just do a quick 14 frames. Yeah, and the way this is going, this may go even north of Omaha. So it'll still hit Douglas County, I believe. It may just track further, may go up toward Valley. So northern Douglas County, probably southern Washington County. We'll have to see where this goes. Might go right over the radar site. All right. Definitely if you are in Wahoo, um, definitely on the north side of Wahoo. Looks like it's kind of splitting right there. So Saunders County Medical Center may see some hail in there. Wahoo in the town, some hail there. Oh, that was thunder. Airplane outside my window. I'm like, thunder? This isn't even near me yet. All right. Once again, severe thunderstorm warning, capable of producing golf ball size hail up to 50-mile-an-hour winds with considerable damage threat for Wahoo. So Ithaca, Wahoo, and Meade, you guys are all in this warned area. Weston, yep, you just got slapped in the face with this storm. Um, Definitely moving. Let's see if they. No, they're still calling for golf ball size hail. Let's see how fast this is moving in a track. Well, it's still moving northeast at 40. All right, so we'll go ahead and stop it. All right, that was the latest scan. We're gonna go up here and well, we'll go here. We'll go northeast. I think it's making more of this kind of a track. All right, so Meade, Wahoo, about 2 minutes. Meade 11, Utan 17, Valley 22, Waterloo 26, Bennington, little over a half an hour. Same up in Washington County, and Irvington about 42 minutes. So that's roughly the track that this is taken. So this will stay to the north of Gretna, may go right through. I should go through Elkhorn. Elkhorn's up in this area too. Um, Valley 22 minutes. So the National Weather Service is out of Valley. So this is kind of making a V-line path up toward you guys. Looks like it's actually kind of disintegrating a little bit. This other storm that happened up here in Iowa, I guess they don't have a severe thunderstorm warning out for that anymore. But anyway, kind of sucked up all of the energy for this one. But it's definitely discreet and it can definitely, um, you know, turn more to the favorable air. So we'll still have to see. There's still definitely hail in here. Yeah. This is when it just went over Weston. So now that hail core is still like in this general area. All right, latest radar scan is coming in. All right. So basically coming into the town of Wahoo. So Wahoo, you could still experience probably, quarter size hail with this still, maybe a little bit bigger, but definitely at least quarter size hail coming into the town of Wahoo. So that would be like inch in diameter, maybe a little bit bigger to the north side, but definitely maybe about an inch in Wahoo. We'll have to see if there's any reports that come out of there. So this is only for another 11 minutes. I assume they're going to go ahead and expand this a little bit further to the northeast. I would assume may kind of look something, maybe kind of something like that. I know they have their own polygons, but you know, I'm guessing it'll be kind of that general direction. All right, once again, severe thunderstorm warning for Saunders County. So basically, central Saunders County. And this is actually still pushing to the northeast at 40 miles an hour. They may actually drop this warning. Well, we'll have to see what this hail. It does look like it's actually decreasing. It is not as strong as it was back to the west. So you can kind of see the path that it was taken and it's still taken. So it'll go right over, maybe valley up toward Bennington. So we'll have to wait and see. I wish I could get my camera view back up for you guys. I don't know what is going on. All right. Let's see here. All right. Basically, town of Wahoo. You guys are probably seeing a little bit of hail right now. It is definitely a downpour. Uh, if not, maybe, I don't know, at least Peter Marble size hail, maybe a little bit bigger, maybe quarter size coming through Wahoo. All right, so picked up another little blue pixel up here. So we'll have to see as this pushes onto the northeast. Um, Mead, I think this may even escape you. I think we're looking at more up here in the northern part of this polygon. And I think even again, they may even condense this even further here in the next probably couple minutes. Trying to see where some of these. All right, so we have storms over in Indiana, Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, and Oklahoma. All right. We'll just take a widened out view really quick. All right. So they did reissue a severe thunderstorm warning back over here for that cell in Iowa. Now it is just tagged for quarter size hail. Lightning 15 miles to my northwest. All right, there we go, people. New severe thunderstorm warning. This does include Douglas County, so Valley, Waterloo, Bennington, up toward Fort Calhoun. So my alarm should be going off any second. So weather radios, if you are in eastern Nebraska in this area, should be going off right now. All right. All right. Everybody just tuning in. Once again, thanks for tuning in. All right. So we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Lashera, Meade, kind of just, Utan Valley, Waterloo, Bennington, going into Washington County, which is up toward Fort Calhoun and Briggs. They are doing $half size hail up to 50-mile-an-hour winds. All right. So you guys have plenty of warning. If you guys are in Lashera Valley, Waterloo, going onto the Washington County line, Bennington, Fort Calhoun. Let's see how long you guys have. So this will be for another hour and 4 minutes. So here you go. They're actually letting you go. Northern Omaha, which is West Douglas County, Blair, Bennington, Elkhorn Valley, Utan, and off of Fort Street. So this is moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. So this is actually slowing down. Believe it or not, it's slowing down. All right. Once again, you guys are just seeing that. This is actually going at 35 miles an hour. So it's slowing down. I know my YouTube was a little delay. So once again, severe thunderstorm warning for Lashera Valley, Waterloo, Elkhorn, Western Omaha, Bennington, and over toward into Washington County and Fort Calhoun. Um, if you guys are in this warned area, look up to $half size hail. Not really gusty winds. The biggest threat is $half size hail. All right, so this is moving 35 miles an hour. Let's put a quick track on this at 35 coming through here. And actually, we need to bump it down. It says 35, but I'm going to go ahead and go 39 to give that little bit of leeway, benefit of the doubt. Did that not? All right, 39. Now let's go ahead and put a track on this. All right, let's share 11 minutes. Valley 16, crossing the Washington County line, about 30 over toward Bennington, 32 Fort Calhoun, 45 minutes. So once again, I will actually bring these up for you guys. Lacheris 11, Valley 16, crossing the line 30, Bennington roughly 30, 32, Fort Calhoun, another 45 minutes. I'll leave this up here just a little bit in case people are popping in and they're like, oh, my weather radios just went off. What's going on? All right. So it's probably a pretty good track that it's going to take. And it seems like it's always pushing a little bit further to the north. So they expanded down here, but honestly, I think it'll take more of a that way path. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. All right, let's take a quick peek at integrated liquid, and it's not as definitive as before. So, which is telling me, hey, it's good. We're going to see definitely some rain, and we will see some hail out of this, but this is nothing like it was. So, I am not expecting, you know, major hail out of this, at least right now. Definitely some heavy rains going along with this, thunder, lightning, but not as big as hail as we were seeing earlier. Once again, everybody, thanks for joining in. If you are new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. We are, one of the meteorologist YouTubers on here. We are not degreed by any means. I just grew up with weather. I know a lot about weather, how to read it. Just, didn't pursue it that far. But still, we have an awesome try as much as we can. For severe weather events, um, but yeah, hit that like and subscribe button. Appreciate you.